We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? Birmingham's the team, down at St Andrews. We are all supporters of our team. We chant a super blues, ringing all around. Now all you blue boys know what we mean. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say?
Over 1,600 blues fans make the trip. Massive news from the ladies' camp this week, and I'm sure Mr. Fun will bring you all the latest news and views very shortly. Very pleased to have Gabriel Sutton, blogger of the award-winning Football Lab, for the best new football blog awarded by the FBA with us. Always a welcome guest on the show. We've got it all this week, including a rant from the master of all football rants. So let's once again strap yourselves in for the one and only show on the entire planet dedicated to Birmingham City. Yes, it's the Tilton Talk Monday night show, and Mondays just wouldn't be the same. Good evening, Mr. Pugh. Good evening, Mr. Sutton. Thanks for coming in. There you go, you've had the clap. And hello, Mr. Brown. I don't know whether you can knock the microphones off in here, can you? It's a little bit echoey in here. Thank you. Just a touch. Just the man on buttons, hey? Right, what you been up to this week then, Sunshine?
Not a great deal.
Yep. Did the floods affect you last week at all?
Did the what, sorry?
The floods affect you last week at all?
No, the floods didn't affect me.
No, they did. They did me, Chris.
Did they?
They did me.
I
yes.
didn't notice.
Yeah, thanks for asking.
No, I didn't notice at all.
What, you didn't notice? I didn't even bother to turn up
No.
last week.
Did it stop you doing something you normally do on a weekly event?
Thing is, the car's knocking on a little bit now, and it just wouldn't have made
Well, you
it
need
through.
to get a better one.
You buy me one, I'll
The
have
money
it.
you get from this place.
Seeing me. Love it. Gabriel, welcome to you, my good man. And what have you been doing since last we saw you?
Well, I was over to Coventry on Saturday. Bit of a sad thing over there because they've got about 9,000 fans in a 30,000 stadium. But,
Yeah.
sad
We've
thing.
been there.
We have, yeah. We have.
So what did you do there then?
I was covering the game against MK Dons.
Right, okay. Good game?
It was okay, yeah. They're sort of on top for most of it, and then sending off sort of changed it really, and they ended up losing.
Oh, did you get some sandwiches?
I did. Well, I always bring a sandwich with me. Yeah, when I go to.
You should have bought one tonight.
Yeah,
So they're going to get one here.
I think they're in a similar situation as us a few years ago, weren't they, with
Absolutely.
the ownership.
Very much so.
Yeah, there's so many teams like it at the moment where the fans just can't see a way out, and it's so frustrating for a club that's won the FA Cup 30 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were there. I mean, 5 years, Chris, and it's like sitting on a knife edge, you know.
Yeah.
And it affects everything you do. It affects, you know, your life and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be us had Caddish
Easily.
scored.
So
Of course, yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, that's the danger of, like you say, we were 30 seconds away from being Coventry and Charlton and teams like that. So.
Bit of breaking news out of the football world tonight. Kenny Jackett's resigned.
It's a strange one.
You've heard, have you?
It's a strange one. That 38 days. Yeah, but then again, the first half performance against Leeds on Saturday, I think I'd have resigned as well if I was manager. But yeah, it's a strange one to only. Obviously, we don't know the full situation, but if it is just a case of he's looked at the squad and thought there's nothing he can do, you know, within a month of being there.
You would have thought you'd have done your homework before that, though.
Yeah, well, how desperate are you for a job? Unless he's got another one lined up, you don't know. But
Wolves, maybe?
no, it probably won't be long, yeah.
I mean, my understanding was there was a disagreement with budgets where when he first took the job, the board said, yes, we'll back you in January. Yeah. Whereas now, because they're so far adrift of safety, I think Tony Stewart is more thinking, let's just not spend too much and sort of rebuild in League One, whereas Jackett wanted to strengthen. But, I mean, it does seem strange, doesn't it?
It's a funny old world in there, isn't it? Funny old world. Right, okay, big news from the ladies' camp then this week. You fill everybody in on that one.
Yeah, there's been... The official line is it's a full integration for Blues ladies into Birmingham City Football Club, basically. So everything will be run through Birmingham City now, which which is good in a sense that you've got a full understanding of where everything's coming from and who's in charge now. You know, there was issues of previous directors of BAHL being still involved with Blues ladies. Obviously, that's all under washed away now. So and I think friend of the show Tim Andrews has stepped down from his CEO role.
Yeah, we'll have to get Tim in and he can come and give his take on it and everything.
But he was CEO for a year where we had a fantastic season. So he did an excellent job under difficult circumstances. And hopefully, with the integration into Blues now, with Panos Pavlakis becoming involved with the club, then hopefully it'll be onwards and upwards for them now. And from the players' perspective, for the girls' perspective, hopefully they get all the facilities that they can possibly get, the best possible opportunity of progressing their careers and having a real good go at challenging the big girls in the league.
Can you see like further integration into a club like IE playing at St Andrews perhaps coming on?
I'm sure. I know. I think Tim's made it clear on this show. I think that they tried last season to have a game at St Andrews. It's obviously permitting where the Blues are playing, especially now that the season's going to be running in conjunction with the men's league. It's going to be a winter league now from next season, so obviously the home games will be in the winter when Blues' season is running. So it might make it easier, it might make it a bit more difficult. I don't know whether there'll be a chance where you could have the Blues ladies, Blues men play at 3:00 and the Blues ladies kick off at 6, and you could get people staying around for the Blues ladies game maybe as a possibility. I think Arsenal have done that before, and Doncaster have done that before, so that's a possibility maybe. But I'm sure, but I don't see how it must be a good thing that there's full integration with the club now.
They've had one or two games at St Andrews in the past.
They have,
the Arsenal one.
The Arsenal Champions League quarter-final was at St Andrews, and there was another Champions League game at St Andrews as well. So it has happened before. It'd be great if the girls could get the opportunity to play there again. So.
A few things coming through on Facebook Live. Has Mr. Nivea not put the heating on? You've all got your coats on.
It is freezing.
It is cold in here tonight, isn't it? It's cold in here. Is that radiator on over there?
I
doubt it very much.
I think it's just a painting.
It's just a mural.
I don't think it's even a real.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Oh dear me! And nice to see the claret hoodie has gone from Shane.
Yeah, do you know what? I made a conscious effort not to wear that tonight.
Yeah, you made a cock up last week, didn't you?
Yeah.
A bit of a
that won't be
slate in
seen
there.
again. That won't.
Races normally for Blues, it's a race to 45 points. This season, we're looking further than that. That's got to be now.
Do you know what? At risk of sounding a bit like Ranieri last season for Leicester, obviously you want to get to 45, 50 points as soon as possible, and then once you get to that point, then you can start looking at how far is left in the season and how far you can go.
Yeah, Matthew says, can't believe we are where we are, but we are where we are, and that's the fact. And
that is a fact. And I was saying to a guy at work, we are now in the next game we play is in December.
Yeah,
you know, this isn't 3 or 4 games into the season now. We're into December, and we're 4th. So you know you can't say that it's a fluke. You can't say we've had a good start. This is a big chunk into the season now that we're in.
Ray, I hope Gabriel has joined Sky Super 6 and shows if his predictions are as good as his blogging. Have you joined out? I've done me back in yesterday. Sorry. Have you joined the Super 6?
No, I'm sure my predictions are just as bad.
Have you joined the
They can't be any worse than
Super
mine.
6?
No.
Will you join the Tilton Talk Super 6?
Does it involve spending money?
No. And you have an opportunity to win £250,000 free of charge
every week,
every single week. All you need to do is get all 6 scores right, and the minute the first goal went in out of those 6 matches, and your quid's in.
Easy peasy. We do it every week.
We do it every week.
Yeah.
I don't gamble. I don't gamble money, so there you go. I wouldn't do it if it involved partaking. Taking coins out of my pocket. It's free, honestly. Yeah. It's free. Get the app on your phone, Super 6, right? Join the Tilton Talk. Talk to Ray. I'm sure you're in touch with Ray, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, he'll give you the code to get on it, and then start predicting away.
Okay, I'll give that a go.
We're talking about Super 6. I think I got 9 points this week. How commendable was that?
It's not bad.
Not bad for an old git like me, is it? Eh? 9 points.
It's not bad,
9 points. Yeah. How did you get, Chris?
Not 9. I got 4. 9.
I think. I thought I saw 4.
Yeah.
What about Brownie? 9 as well.
I'll give it 9.
9.
Yeah.
Dear. And we have a little bit of banter about Super 6 every week, so you'll be able to join in on that as well. My sister's still second. It's hurting me. It's hurting me. Hurting me is me dear boy. Right, okay, we've got a rant. Something to do with Liverpool fans. And Liverpool fans have been winding you up or something this week?
It's a short one. It's a quick one. Obviously, the news this week that Steven Gerrard's retired.
Yep.
And I just think it's obviously Liverpool fans are going to know that it's them. According to them, he's Mr. Liverpool, isn't he? Yeah, even though he's played 3 years in America. Apparently he's a one-man club, but he's not a one-man club. But anyway, he's their hero, and understandably so. He's a Liverpool boy
and a good servant for England all through as well. Must say that.
Okay, well we'll go to that.
Rant away. No, you do it. You go.
Basically, Liverpool, the lines on social media that the greatest midfielder the Premier League's ever seen, and one of the greatest Liverpool players. If he wasn't English, there would be he'd just be a long ball merchant. Basically, if he was any other nationality, he'd be a long ball merchant. I can't agree that he's been a great servant for England. He's winning over 100 caps. Does that make you a great servant for England, or does it? I don't know. I don't know whether it does because I don't know what he achieved for England.
Being England's top goal scorer, but scoring a large wedge of them in friendlies, does that make you a great servant?
Yes, it does. I think when you can call yourself England's top greatest ever goal scorer, then I think you can say that you have been a decent servant for England. Yeah, but the greatest midfielder to ever play in the Premier League. He's not even the best Liverpool midfielder to ever play in the Premier League.
Who is?
You've got he had a midfield. A lot of people say he won the Champions League on his own. He won all these trophies on his own because that Liverpool side was so bad. He had Xabi Alonso and Javier Mascherano alongside him in midfield. Yeah. 2 midfielders that are on a different level, on a different planet to Steven Gerrard as a midfielder. having watched those three live, playing for Liverpool, and obviously I've watched Xabi Alonso and Mascherano play when I've gone and watched Madrid and things like that. On a different level.
Do you not think that it's a credit to him in some ways that he's declared or he's seen as fit to play alongside those types of players? So because you'd say in a Manchester United midfield, Paul Scholes, who's seen as the best midfielder by some, he had Roy Keane, David Beckham, and Ryan Giggs. Does that make him?
He did. But that team won so much. That team won everything. That team won. I know Gerrard's Liverpool won the Champions League as well, but they won the Champions League. They won title after title after title, and they won so much, that Man United team, and that was a team effort. But I think Scholes is a much better midfielder than Gerrard.
Well, Dean Peer was apparently.
Pardon?
Dean Peer. Dean Peer was better.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I'm sure he was. But I think it's understandable, I suppose, when a player retires, that the immediate reaction is quite a bit of hyperbole about him. But for me, I don't think he could be mentioned in the same breath as.
Well, there you go. We'll leave the rant where it is then,
Well, the thing. I mean, I'd incline to agree. Like, I personally don't think that Steven Gerrard was a world-class player, and I probably agree that Paul Scholes was a better player. Yeah. But I also think you've got to respect that he has been a very good player for Liverpool over a consistent period. I will give him. I think you've got to, sort of pay your respects for that.
I will give him that he's a good servant to Liverpool, and and that's obviously where the bulk of the praise has come from Liverpool fans.
When is Chris Pre retiring?
Good question. I hope I get the same sort of reaction. One of the greatest radio presenters to ever come from the country.
Ever come from this room?
Yeah.
Okay, moving right on. Griffin Park,
That's me
Saturday,
over,
16. Yeah, nice one, well done. 1,600 over Blues fans went down there again, so sell out. Well done to those that managed the trip.
And loud as well, by the look.
Very much so.
Loud.
And we come back with a 2-1 win. That's cracking. And in my opening notes, as I mentioned, Sutton. What an absolute brilliant acquisition he's been for us.
Well, I mean, when we signed him on loan originally, we were looking at it thinking, well, there's your cover for right back, or left back. I didn't really see him. I thought more centre half would probably be the third choice option for Sutton, but he's coming alongside Morrison. They've complemented each other so well, so quickly. They're gelled, and they really are a force. And they're, obviously he got his goal on Saturday, but rule number one is for him to defend well, and that's his job in the team to defend well with Morrison, and they're doing that magnificently at the moment.
Yeah, very much so. Go on.
Well, I mean, I think at the moment there's a case to say that we've got the best centre-back pairing in the Championship, because if you look at the kind of games that we've been in, we've been under a lot of pressure. We've not sort of dominated teams. We've had.
Well, we're never going to, I don't think.
Yeah, we've had a lot of crosses coming into the box, and I think with Morrison and Sutton, I think to have the defensive record that we've got, I think you've got to give a lot of credit.
It's great to see a defender getting on the score sheet, though.
Yeah, well, he's gambled at the back post he's gambled that Donaldson's going to get the flick, or someone's going to get a flick at the front post, and it's paid off. Obviously, one they've worked on in the training ground, and it's always nice to see those sorts of set pieces pay off. So, absolutely, yeah. And like Gabriel said, I think when you've lost only three games all season, with the resources that we've got, I think you have to give full credit to the whole team, obviously, and management and everything. But defensively, Sutton and Morrison have been excellent this season.
But coming from where I come from, there's been obviously the Derby and Stoke connections, and they all said, "What have you just bought that donkey for? What have you got?" And he's turned out to be, like I say, one top player.
Yeah, but they were playing him right back, weren't they? He played right back a lot of the time for Derby, and I think for Stoke as well. So
I don't think he's got the pace to play at right back as well. I think he's much better suited to playing in the centre. He looks more at home there.
I like his hair as well.
But he's complementing Morrison, superbly at the moment. They have struck up a really good partnership, and and it is making us, obviously losing only 3 games at home all season says it for itself, but it is making us really hard to beat the way they're playing at the moment.
Stuart McDonald says, lads, concerned about our possession stats. Heard Gary Rowett say a few times we rode our luck a bit. Think we could do with a midfielder who can hold the ball till he can pass to others, who get forward instead of going backwards and then thumping it up from the back. Any thoughts, or shall I shut up? No, of course you don't shut up.
No, don't shut up.
That's the wife's favourite words to me, by the way.
I wouldn't say shut up, but I would say we're 4th. You know, and although obviously in an ideal world we win 3-0 at home every week and have 70% possession and pass it fluidly around the park,
I'll take a dirty win every week.
But when you go to somewhere like Brent, and I think they'd lost their last 3 home games in a row, you know, and they're dropping down the table a bit. They need to get back into form, and when you play a team like that, it is difficult because you know that they've almost got nothing to lose. They've got to come at you, especially when we go 1-0 up, you know, and eventually 2-0 up. But you know, when we were 1-0 up, they were coming at us, weren't they, in the first half? So I think it's tough to have possession in those games, especially away from home. And it suits us to let other teams have the ball away from home, and then we hit them on the counter.
Dennis, a great result the weekend. What are your predictions up to Christmas? Okay, well, let's start with the Barnsley game that's coming up then.
Predictions, really?
We're not so good at predictions, are we?
We're not. Not particularly. So the Barnsley one.
Yeah, Barnsley. That's this Saturday at home.
I mean, they're in a bit of free fall as well, aren't they? They're conceding plenty of goals. They look like conceding every time Nottingham Forest went forward against them last weekend. I think if we can pick up 3 points there, you know, that keeps us where we are. It keeps us in a good run, and I think with the fact that we are in a positive way at the moment, and Barnsley are struggling. If it was at Oakwell, I'd be slightly less inclined to back us, but I think at home, you know, they're struggling to defend at the moment. I think I will go back us to beat them. Yeah.
So you back us to beat Barnsley yourself?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think they are struggling a bit. I don't think they've got the biggest squad at the moment, Barnsley, a few injuries. And I think from our point of view, we're better at beating the lesser teams than we might have been last couple of seasons.
Right, yeah.
So I'm going to say 2-0 to the Blues.
And then straight after that, the week after that is probably the fixture of the season, really. Newcastle away.
Well, it's certainly the toughest fixture of the season.
It's certainly what I was trying to get,
But then, you know, they went on nine wins in a row, looking for a club record 10th, and then lose to Blackburn. So,
welcome to the Championship.
That is the Championship all over. But if we, you know, we've shown that we are hard to beat, and away from home at a big ground like that, maybe it'll just suit us. Let them have the ball. It's a big pitch, big wide open surface, you know, and if we can hit them on the counter if they flood forward, because they're going to, aren't they? They're not gonna sit there. There's no point. You know, they've got too many good attacking players to do that. I won't back us to win if we can nick a point.
That would be good.
Very greedy asking for a point from there, but
yeah.
I don't think we'll get anything in Newcastle. I think they're going to have too much quality for us, personally.
They certainly look good. Tuesday then, a night game, Ipswich at home, Tuesday the 13th of December, so that's just 3 days after that Ipswich, the Newcastle game.
Well, they're not travelling well this season, then they're not. Well, I think they won 3-0 at the weekend, but before that they weren't scoring many goals. Assuming they don't score many goals up until that game, then I'd back us to win that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think.
I might go for a draw in that one. I think Ipswich are going to set up quite defensively, and I've got a feeling that kind of thing might be a bit of a stalemate.
Okay. And then the last one then before Christmas, as that was the question went to, was Saturday the 17th, Brighton, also at home.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. I think is that a 5:30 on Sky? I think
yes,
one. That is a tough one because they are flying. They've got goals in them. They're resolute. They're defensively sound, which you'd expect a Houghton team to be. I think I'd be pleased with the point, even though we're at home. I think we'd be.
So you're saying 3, 4, 5, 6.
7 out of 12.
7 out of 12.
I think we might get a point against Brighton, so I'll say 5 out of 4.
I'll have us losing at Newcastle, so 7 out of 12.
7 out of 12. 7 out of 12 and 5 out of 12. Yeah. Well, there you go, Dennis. There's your answer. Let's get back to some of the comments that are coming through.
Before you go to that, can I just quickly say thank you, GA, for popping in tonight and helping out with the monitoring? Which,
yeah, he hasn't bothered, has he?
Well, that could be.
At least I let you know last week I was going to turn up.
Yeah, that couldn't be asked.
Leslie Hinsley.
That's bothered for radio speak.
Oh, sorry,
Couldn't be bothered. On the radio.
Going back to the defensive pairing, Leslie Hinsley, I think we have the kind of perfect pairing that we had with Scott Dan and Roger Johnson at the back when they both came to us as individually mediocre players, but works like a dream in the pairing. I think that's a very good point.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Morrison wasn't wanted at Charlton, and Sutton wasn't wanted anywhere, and they've come together, as a centre half partnership, and they're doing the business. So yeah, it is a similar situation.
I mean, you do wonder why Charlton let Michael Morrison go. It seems crazy given where they are now.
A free transfer, it's. I mean, he's a brilliant signing. He's been
our most consistent player since he came in. I think.
Well, he was Rowett's first signing, so it's in the Rowett era. I would probably agree with that. I'd say Morrison has been the most consistent member of that squad since Rowett come in.
And I know we sort of jump to and fro, but the shout box obviously goes out.
That's what it's there for.
A minute afterwards, or so after we actually talked about a topic. So quite often like to go back and catch up on things. Stuart McDonald, if Blackburn can win there, don't see why we can't. You just said on the break, as long as we put the chances away, can see a win.
Yeah. Well, if we take the lead, then that it's a ground where if you do go 1-0 up, there's a chance that the crowd are going to get on the home team's back, and if that's the case, and they get a little bit frantic and try and go a bit too gung ho, then we have the players that can hurt them on the counter. And that's how we love to play away from home. Yeah,
and a few more comments. And Shane, draw or win for the Blues on the 10, just because we seem to do well against the top.
Yeah.
Steve Briscoe thinks we're not going to win against Ipswich, and also Brighton are going to win 3-2. And Steve Wood says, whose is the gift album quality? Didn't get that one, did you?
That's the jam over there.
Oh, right, okay.
It's mine.
Right.
It's in the control room.
Smithy says, all I've got to say is I told you Blues would beat both Bristol City and Brentford, so thanks for your prediction there, Paul. Keep them coming.
Yeah, especially if they're like that.
Like a little bit of positivity. Welcome to Sean Taft Morris, a Swansea fan and a good friend. Spent some time with him a couple of weeks ago, and his lovely lady. Listening in from Wales.
He could do with Sutton and Morrison after watching their game.
Well, it was. I sent him a message actually on Saturday. Will you please stop scoring because you're screwing me Super 6 up? And then he just went haywire from then. I think I ought to keep my mouth shut as far as it all goes. Blues under 23s played today.
Well, if you say under 23s, it was a pretty strong team, wasn't
it?
Yeah, but that's. This is what I've said on a couple of shows now. That's the big difference for this season and previous seasons, is that you look at that team that played, the under-23 team, and more than half of that team could feasibly make their way into the first team. And that's where we are now. We've got players that can make a difference coming off the bench, and we've got players that can come in if somebody's not playing very well, or they're not 100% fit, especially in the busy period now that we've got 6 games in a month.
Steve Briscoe is Steph Briscoe, by the way. I haven't got my glasses on, Steph. I'm awfully sorry.
Close enough.
I mean, I think I'd agree that we've got more depth than we've had in previous seasons, but at the same time, I think in the midfield and attack, I'm not sure I quite see anyone who you'd say that's one of the best players in the Championship that could get into any team. So it's almost like we've got more depth, but we've not got any sort of star individuals. Would be the.
And also what we've done is, again, like I said in my opening notes, we're quietly creeping up that table, and we're making steady but sure progress.
Yeah, well, there's still nobody talking about Blues. Not
even Radio WM tonight again, by the way. One caller right at the end.
But even if we're talking about them, 3 points off the playoffs. That's all I kept hearing on with the TV and radio over the weekend, is that Bruce has come in and now they're only 3 points off the playoffs. The fact that half the table is only 3 points off the playoffs, you could probably go down to 16th, 15th, and they're only a couple of games off the playoff. That's the championship. That's the nature of the championship, and it only takes them to lose their next three, and they're back down to 19th, and
like 28 games still to go. Is something?
Well,
like
exactly. But a decent run of form does take you on the verge of the playoffs, and coincidingly a bad run of form drops you down, and you're starting worrying. Then that's where we are now. That we've only lost 3 games this season, so we haven't had that bad run of form as such. Where we're not picking up any point, even if we're drawing games, at least we're still accumulating points.
And can I give a shout out, or can we give a shout out to Warren Davis for me, please, as he's ill in bed, but he's listening to you all. Thanks, Stephanie Briscoe, not Steve Briscoe. I don't think I'm ever going to live that one down, am I?
Get better soon.
So get well soon, Warren. Hope you're feeling better soon, mate. And I'm
Thanks for writing in, Steph.
I've read his name out right as well. Ray says we have depth, but haven't really seen the quality come out yet in Cots and Mags and Tesha. Now, I know you wanted to speak about Tesha, didn't you?
Well, it's an interesting one because he's just had a long-term injury. You'd hope that we can get him back to full fitness, because I remember at the tail end of the 14-15 season, he was brilliant. He gave us a bit of sort of composure on the ball, a bit of quality, and he can certainly hit a shot as well. So I think if we can get him to full fitness, I think he could be a key player for us.
But we're picking up points and we're winning games without these players.
But it's good to have them back.
If people don't think Magoma's playing particularly well, I'm not sure about Cottrell. I think Cottrell's been okay the last couple of games. But we're still winning games, tough games away at Brentford without people thinking these players are playing particularly well. And then you have got the likes of Stewart, who people are calling for, and Fabrini, who got a run out today. And that's where we are now. We are in a situation where we're not reliant on Cottrell staying fit all season or Donaldson staying fit all season, because if they're not, then we have got options to bring in, and it might not necessarily ruin us as such.
Because we've seen, on some occasions for some teams, the January window has ruined, the status quo and the continuity of that, the team effort that goes on week in, week out.
But Gabriel's point was a good one. People worrying about the transfer window. We haven't got that X factor star. We haven't got that superstar that's carrying us into the playoffs. We're not that team. We are a team. You look at Leeds. If a lower Premier League team needed goals, they could go for Chris Wood. I don't see where Leeds are getting their goals from if Chris Wood goes. He is their perfect target man at the moment, and they're reaping the benefits for it. But you can't really look at the blue side. I know we've mentioned Sutton and Morrison and people like that, but you can't really look at us and say that if they lose him, they're done.
They're done for you. Like we had that issue last year with Donaldson.
Exactly. We needed Donaldson, and the season before with Gray, you knew Gray was the starlet. You knew Gray was the one that you were worried about come January. I'm not sure there is that at the moment, unless 5 or 6 go.
This is the first January window that I've not even been concerned about. An exodus or something like that. So it's.
I think financially more than anything, you're not worried. That the calm that the takeovers brought. You're not worried about the fact that we need to sell to raise money. We're not worried about that's not an impact anymore.
Well, what I'd like to put across to either of you is: do you think we need another striker? Because I don't think Clayton Donaldson is quite the same player that he was a couple of seasons ago. I think he's lost a bit of sort of the stamina.
Well, he's knocking on a bit now as well, isn't he, Clates?
Yeah. And I think Jack Kewick's, he scored a lot of headed goals, but that seems to be the only way he scored. So I just feel like we're missing something up there.
I think we raised this point last week, didn't we, Chris? A few people were saying
on that great show we did last week.
Yeah, the award-winning top 30 show,
yeah.
Wasn't it? That was right.
Oh yeah, somebody was missing, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
It was a leaf on
but we mentioned the fact that possibly if you wanted that a bit of a different striker in a bit quicker. Adams could play up front maybe, or you could possibly put Fabrini up front and see how that works out. Obviously, it's less of a physical striker, which isn't the way Rowett normally plays, but the possibility there. I would say if one of them does get injured, then you are reliant on the other one, maybe, if we're going to, because we have been playing 4-4-2 lately, and that's worked. So, yeah, possibly another striker come January. I think again, cover at full-back.
Yeah,
I was pleased with Dacres Cogley making his debut. It's a positive that he's come in and played pretty well, and we've got a win out of the game, so you know that if we are short at right back, then he's more than capable of coming in.
I mean, what I heard from the performance at Brentford was that Cogley was quite attacking, maybe more so than Spectre, and I think if we're at home to a side that's going to park the bus, we could need a fullback that's just going to take someone on and give us a bit of width, bit of exuberance of youth, if you like. More than happy to get forward. I think that's how young defenders are being trained now, isn't it? You bomb on and give your winger cover.
Just catching up on a few of the comments then, Stuart McDonald just said about quality midfielder. Sure, there are some who would welcome a move to Blues, or is money still a problem? We don't really know what the financial situation is. Not in really,
terms of wages. No. I don't think you're getting a Premier League midfielder. And then you're looking at who could you get from the Championship that isn't in a good position already. There are a lot of teams who could realistically say they aim with a shout of getting in the playoffs this season. So you're asking a lot to try and persuade a player to move from one Championship team to the other. But Rowett's proved that the people he has brought in so far have worked well. So
can we just say sorry to all the people who've missed on the chat box, but it's going so fast, isn't it?
It is, yes, it is.
It's really difficult.
Steph Briscoe, this is the first... Steph, by the way. Well, Steph. This is the first time I've seen the Tilton talk. Only been a Blue Nose for 8 years. I'll never change back to a United fan. Go, girl.
That's good. Especially the way they're going.
Smithy says the Blues have the makings of a promotion-winning side. It's a common fact that teams that grind out wins go up, but are not necessarily the best sides in the division.
And we've mentioned Burnley on this show a couple of times. I think the similarities between this Blue side and the Burnley side that's gone up the last two times, last season and the time before that, is that you can't name a star. You can't name somebody that, Andre Gray got a lot of goals from last year, but they were a unit, they were a team, and they were hard to beat, and so are we. So
I would say that Andre Gray's a better striker than Jack Keywick's and Donaldson.
Listen, we got I think 20 plus goals last season, so we're not going to have a player who gets 20 plus goals this season. But the resilience and the nature that we are hard to beat, and we never give up. We keep going, and we're picking up points when we're behind, and that just that sort of thing. Everything seems to be changing, for a positive at the moment this season. So.
Right, okay. Few more comments. Let's try and get a few more of these. David Angel, we need fullbacks. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
that's a definite.
Left-sided, definitely.
Yeah. Adrian says we need 3 players at most in January, which shouldn't affect the status quo in the team, and that's one thing that you don't want to do, is it? Really?
Well, it doesn't. Rowett doesn't strike me as the kind of manager that would, if you gave him 20 million, he doesn't strike me as the kind of manager that would just go and blow it on 8 players just for the sake of it. I think he is the sort of man who knows what the team needs and knows what he wants, and I'm sure they've been making plans for quite a while now based on the budget that they have got. So I don't think we'll be seeing 5 or 6 additions for the sake of it.
And Steph wants to know, where did Jack Storer go to? Well, we all know what happened with him. He
was on the bench today, wasn't he? I think in the
he ended
up
cracking his foot on the advertising audience, showed a bit of petulance, and I think Gary did exactly the right thing and dropped him. End of. But however, he's still sat there.
But there's another player that, should the striker get injured, Rowett felt he could trust him earlier on in the season, and if he could regain that trust, then why not give him another shot?
We miss Cadiz, says David Angel, and Ray said it's one of the first seasons we've got loads of players that aren't worth millions individually, and other teams will go for, maybe barring Adams.
Yeah, I think Adams, because of his age, has the potential to get better. I'm not sure how old Greg Stewart is, but someone like that. I think, but you look at it, probably the one who would bring in the most money possibly is Fabrini. A guy who's not even playing.
Yeah. David also says Rowett needs to take more risks. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that.
Take more risks when we're fourth come December, and we lost 3 games all season.
Steve Wood wants to know, how do you think Cogley played? Well, by all accounts, he had a very, very good game, and Gary sang his praises. So, I wasn't there, so I wasn't privy to seeing the game.
He'd have known all week, with the fact that Spectre got injured. He'd have known all week that was his big chance.
Yeah.
That if he performed well in training, he'd probably get the starting berth at right back, and he was given his chance. And by all accounts, like you say, Rowett praised him, and he took it well. So.
Leonard Edgington, hi everyone. Len joining in from Queensland, Australia. Good win against Brentford. Keep the momentum going against Barnsley.
Good morning.
Please. Keep
Good
right
morning.
On. It's probably good morning there. Let us know what time it is there in Queensland, Leonard, if you would.
Good day.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, good day.
I had a chance to
Throwing
go to
the
work in
shrimp on the
Queensland.
barbie.
Did I ever tell you that, Christopher?
What's that?
I had an opportunity to go to work in Queensland.
Yes, you have.
I
Already
couldn't
told
go
us that.
due to
You've already
spiders.
told us that.
Spiders.
Yeah.
Size of the spiders. Couldn't do it.
Spiders.
Well, we got it.
Right, okay.
We'll give you another chance if you want.
Yeah.
Cheers.
We've got a kitty going on.
I'll team up with Leonard and we'll get a sister show going. Yes, I'll be radio, mate. Glad you mentioned being playing 4-4-2, and I hope it continues. Seems to work, even if Rowett says we rode down luck a bit.
At home, I mean, 4-4-2 away from home, you are going to allow oppositions to have more of the ball and put a lot more pressure on you.
Mm-hmm. David Angel doesn't like 4-4-2. Get
But we
found
got
out in the
2
middle of the
goals.
park.
Yeah, we possibly we do, and maybe that's why Brentford created that many chances, and maybe that's something Rowett can have a look at. But we won the game, and if you set up resolutely, trying not to lose, and you draw 1-1, or you let the opposition batter the door down, your keeper makes a couple of really good saves, but you nick it 2-1. Which one's the better outcome in the end? So.
And it's currently 6:15 a.m. in the morning in Queensland.
Good morning.
Good morning. He sets his Tilton Talk alarm clock.
Yeah.
Good man.
Bless, that is a good effort.
Cracking.
Huddersfield 0, Wigan 0. 26 minutes gone. In a game that means everything to us.
Well, they all mean something to
they
us,
could
don't they?
overtake us again.
They all mean something to us, don't
I'm
they?
quite enjoying being fourth at the moment.
Ray said Nick had a chance to work in Queensland, more like Poundland. I love the abuse. I love it.
Didn't pass the interview.
Dear me. Who is who? Steph wants to know who is who. Who is Mr. Hot something, Mr. Left Nut, Mr. Nivea, Mr. Floor, Mr. Fun. Right,
Mr.
okay.
Hot something and Mr. Left something aren't here, are they?
No, they're not with us. No,
No.
they support us from the background.
They do, yeah.
Chris Brown over there with his headphones on is Mr. Nivea. Called that,
Why?
Steph, due to the fact that he uses copious amounts of Nivea upon that face of his just to try and look young.
Keeping them in business.
I've
Yeah.
Chris Pugh is known as Mr. Fun because he
me.
loves fun.
I love fun.
He's a fun-loving guy.
I am.
Fun should be barred, shouldn't it? I don't know how you're going to cope with this next month.
Legislation coming soon, hopefully. Outlawing all forms of fun.
And I'm known as Mr. Floor due to the fact that I get quite drunk on the coach and just sleep on the floor on the way back. And that's
Been known to happen.
once or twice, and it's going to happen again soon.
I'm sure
It's
it
gonna happen
will.
again. Have we got any spaces left on the coach, Christopher?
We've got 6 spaces.
This is the Tilton Talk Tour, the tour bus. It's a very posh coach. It's got a toilet as well. It's a 20-seater, and basically 24. Do you beg your pardon? 25, including the driver.
Well, I suppose.
Correct.
Okay, but we can get 26 on it because I will be on the floor.
Most of it.
And basically, it's for the Derby game on the 27th of December.
Yep.
Leaving Solihull at around about 9
So
a.m.
can I say Gabriel yawned then?
around about 9 a.m.
That's the effect.
Live.
That's the effect.
So leaving there around about 9 a.m. The Black Swan is already primed. They're ready. They're armed up and staffed.
Bacon sandwiches.
Bacon sandwiches. You put the order in, we'll get them done, and
get 'em on.
give us the first drinks order for when you get to the Black Swan, so that poor Joyce hasn't got to pull her arms off like an octopus.
Get the prosecco in.
You what? You what? Have you just really said that?
That's the fun element of me, isn't it?
Do you drink prosecco?
No, of course I don't drink prosecco. I don't mind a glass of white wine every now and then.
Oh gosh.
Not prosecco.
So anyway, it's on the 27th of December. We've got four spaces left on, 6 spaces left on the coach. So if anybody wants a coach journey, it's £25, I believe.
On the coach, yeah.
On the coach.
With alcohol.
With alcohol. With alcohol.
Well, yeah, might have.
With alcohol. There's no good nodding. You're not on radio anymore. You're on camera now. You know what I mean? You're just going like across the whole world, pretending you're still on radio, like back in the olden days.
Leonard in Queensland knows now. Gone all the way to Queensland.
And there may be a glass of more wine.
Is Mr. Fun married? Says Steph. I need a hubby. Well, unfortunately, he's taken. I'm afraid.
I am not married.
No, he's not married, but he's
so
he's very taken.
So if there's, if the potential's there, I suppose. If there's a better offer elsewhere.
Good God.
I'm so fun, aren't I?
Who would want to spend the rest of their lives indulged in this kind of frivolity?
Be ranting every day.
Stuart McDonald says, went to Huddersfield last year on the coach. You lot left me scarred for life.
Who said that one?
Stuart McDonald.
Stuart.
Yeah.
That Huddersfield trip was
wasn't
unique. It was absolutely beautiful day out. Great day.
I bet he got on Fox News for us because of us, though.
Exactly.
Stuart.
Yeah. And in every paper in the country, and so some people just never happy, are they, Chris? No.
International recognition and he's scarred for life.
Oh dear. I've actually, and I haven't released these yet, got some photographs of everybody on the coach on the way back, and they were all fast asleep. So I think that's one of
I'd like to see mine. I don't remember me. I don't remember falling asleep on the coach.
I was walking up and down. I was walking up and down the coach with Sharon's phone because mine had gone
I remember.
flat.
No, actually, it was my phone.
Was it your phone?
Yeah, you took my phone for a short while.
All right, okay. But I do have lots of photographs somewhere of everybody fast asleep on the way back. No, I think I'll create the album later on when I get home tonight. And,
well, I'm sure we'll see him at the Black Swan on the 27th.
I'm just hoping that Stuart's got his gob by. I want to be perfectly honest with you, so that we can be scarred for life.
Hashtag scarred for life.
Yeah. Oh dear.
You don't want to come aboard now.
No.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
So that's 6 spaces left. If anybody wants to come to be scarred.
Paul Smith says I want 3 places for me and 2 for the boys. I think he was joking there. But that's actually written, so the invoice is on its way.
It normally includes a mystery tour. That was fun coming back, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And Steph says, I'm joking, lol, Mr. Fun, I got a fella.
Yeah. He's in bed, isn't he?
Unfortunately, he's poorly in bed, yeah, poor bloke.
Hope he gets better soon.
Oh,
Can you say we've had 100 comments so far?
Where do I pay for 2 adults, please?
Yeah.
Steph Briscoe, if you are absolutely adamant that you want spaces on this coach, then get in touch with Chris Brown through the Tilton Talk page, or message him, or message myself, or Mr. Fun. Mr. Fun will look at it and just ignore it completely.
I'll pass it on immediately. I don't deal with the important.
Races, it is a great day out when travelling on the Tilton Talk bus. Normally includes a mystery tour. Where did we have a mystery tour?
Coming back from Huddersfield.
Oh yeah, we
didn't know where we
were
going. We ended up outside a old people's home. Asking for directions.
I think I'd left then, hadn't I? I'd got off. I'd vacated.
Yes, you had.
Yeah. I think I was fast asleep in the Swan by. Oh no, that was after the Derby game, wasn't it?
We dropped you off by then.
That was right. Okay, 27th of December. Then I think I need to get a little bit of revenge on a certain individual back home, don't you? I remember her passing a photograph of me fast asleep in the pub. Yeah. In my normal stance. That's a normal stance of a Saturday evening.
Yeah.
After
I think
a Derby
it was
game.
in a lot of places.
It was after the Derby game. I think we need a bit of revenge, don't you?
I think so.
If the opportunity's there, why?
Oh, the opportunity's there, Chris. Believe me. Believe me,
Well,
opportunities.
you know me,
there for revenge.
I'm not a man to turn down fun. Might as well go for it.
Yeah, brilliant. Right, okay, let's kind of get back to it then. So, seriously, though, there's 6 spaces spare on the coach. Anybody wants one, it's 25 quid, including a nod, if you get what I mean.
Nodding off.
Oh, God. And it's stopping off in Utoxeter at the Black Swan. It's getting messy already, isn't it? It's getting messy already.
Can I just say that some of the drunks that came last year aren't going to be with us this year, so I think.
Oh, I am?
There'll be a lot more beer to drink.
I didn't even know there was any.
Potentially.
There'll be a lot more beer to drink and not pay for.
Potentially.
Can I ask a serious question about that trip last year? Did I owe anybody any money for the beer?
No, you paid up, I think.
I can't remember.
Yeah, you did. You paid. No, you paid up.
No, I didn't realise. I didn't. I thought it was just everybody chucked a few bottles in and been done with it. So
No.
was that?
Pay
It was
as you go.
pay as you go. I was going, but not paying.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway, and of course, kids are welcome too. The kids' price for the coach, Christopher, is
Oh, crikey, I think it's £12.
about £12.50, something like that. £12.50.
You've got a bit of a
something like
discount.
that. Discount, yeah.
No,
Okay.
no.
For the
No.
coach.
I
For
don't
the
know how much
coach.
it is for the coach.
What for kids? £16 something, wasn't it? I think.
We haven't worked it out.
All right. Okay.
No, yeah,
All right.
We're cheap.
keep
Less
it on- keep-
than 20.
less than 20. Yeah.
Less than 20 for kids.
Oh, Steph Briscoe says, "Can I bring my own drinks because my fellow don't drink?" Yeah,
Bring them.
Bring them. We'll
Bring
drink
all,
them.
more the merrier. Yeah.
We'll definitely drink them. You'll have that left by the time you get home, Doc. Don't you worry. Dennis says, "I've got some great things planned for this trip. I can't wait for that." Question for Gabriel: Why Barnwell?
Oh no, I think
as you're
that's
local to
Ollie
it.
Osborne.
You mean Ollie?
He's working there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
You've got to excuse
It's
me.
Ollie
He's
that's
getting
a
on a bit
Barnwell.
at Rays, you see, so, you know.
Ray is known as Mr. Hot Thingamajigger,
Yes,
isn't he?
he is,
Yeah. So it's just for Steph's information.
No, Ray is Mr. Left.
Oh, Ray's Mr. Left.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Dennis is Mr. Hot Thingy.
Yes, he
hot,
is, yeah.
hot Obe.
For reasons you can imagine
He's
at home.
the hot knob.
I think I named him that. Just
I think he
changed-
named it himself.
No, I changed it one night after.
Oh,
It had an issue with some spray, I believe, some
Yes.
Raljex of some description.
That'll do. That'll do. Family radio show.
Look at this here.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yes.
Oh, dear me. Dear me.
I'm not going to put it on.
No. Ooh. So Paul Smith says, "So my invoice is invoice me 62 less my founder discount. Founder discount is 0.00% recurring."
When you're coming on, Paul, there's always a space here for you.
Oh dear. Steph says, "I've got some Nivea. You need some." Lol.
Oh.
I think that's about. Was that,
I don't know which one.
Don't know
this
who
is.
that's about.
All of
Good
us
idea,
probably.
Mick.
Don't know who that's
All
about.
of us, yeah.
Don't know who it's about. I haven't got a clue. Oh dear me. Right.
Have we got any sensible comments?
Yes.
Coming
Something that crept up on Facebook the other day is the Birmingham City supporters are the most arrested supporters
I did see this,
in the
yeah.
Championship.
through? Yeah.
One thing that I'd like to remind everybody and anybody is if you do get arrested, you are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Yeah.
Just because you're arrested doesn't mean to say that you've done any misdemeanours or anything wrong. And is it that West Midlands police judge Birmingham City games in a different vein that they do others? I don't know.
Is it that other police forces up and down the country treat Blues fans in a different way than they treat
To
other
be perfectly
fans?
honest with you, Chris, every away game that I've ever been to, right, the police have always been absolutely brilliant.
I can't say the same, but
no,
yeah.
and I value your difference of opinion. Right?
Are we honestly saying that some of us here think that Blues fans get treated differently to other supporters?
I will say it. I'll say it.
Really?
Without smiling as well.
No, I will say it. Yeah. I think so. I think there's a reputation still
Gabriel?
against Blues fans.
Well, I find it very surprising because, apart from the videos that I've seen of after the Villa game, I've not seen any trouble of any sort in, all season and before that. I find it very, it seems very rare for me, but
Yeah.
to see that. But so I find that surprising.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody else who had problems at QPR last season in the way that the Blues fans had trouble at QPR.
Well, Dennis said.
We
Dennis
don't know
said.
that though, do we?
Dennis
Well,
said.
we don't,
Yeah.
but you know that was quite well publicised
Yeah.
on social media. That trouble.
that one lad coming on.
Well, Dennis said Huddersfield last year the police were brilliant. Look at Scarf Lady and the coffin. He also said Mr. Nivea was on the list of people arrested but kept slipping through peacetime. And the police were okay at Derby. That was one I was going to come to. The police were brilliant
The
at
two
Derby.
we went on, the Tilton Torch trips to Derby and Huddersfield.
Yep.
I can't fault them. But in my experience of going to Blues away at certain areas of the
What I'm saying is
country,
that chap who ran on the pitch, both of them.
I'm not on about the pitch.
But we'll talk about that bit first.
Okay.
They both ran on expecting there was going to be some sort of trouble.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not. You know, the guy that ran on the pitch has only got
Yeah.
himself to blame. That's
Yeah. Both of them,
that's
both
an
of them.
arrestable
Yeah.
offence. So you know, but I'm talking about outside the ground where they wouldn't let the fans in, and there was the stampede as such, and there was the crush towards the gates.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know of any other fans that had that last
If
season.
you do go on other forums and Facebook pages of other clubs, you'll see the same sort of thing. Like say, we were treated disgracefully at here.
Yeah.
Treated disgracefully
Yeah.
here. I'm going to write to.
Do you think football fans generally
It's
are
the same
treated
everywhere.
disgrace? And do you
Yes,
think, all right, okay,
yeah.
well, can we invite
I've
somebody
said
from West
before.
Midlands Police then?
I've said before. I
Yeah,
think
for
I think
sure, yeah.
I think football fans, especially away fans, are still treated as like dirt by police up and down the country.
And
yeah.
unfortunately, we have a tiny minority that see it some sort of badge of honour by going on and causing trouble in the name of Birmingham City.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't think you're ever going to get rid of 100% of those sorts of people.
No.
You know, I don't. That's just, you know, whether their family members have done it or whatnot, or whether it's just. I don't know. I don't know why. But
I mean, the point I'd make is: do you think that if police are particularly heavy-handed with fans, do you think that sort of stirs the situation up more than if they're
Yes.
more sort of respectful?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark Smith. Wigan 1-0. We're still fourth. There you go.
Oh, go
great
on then,
news.
go on
Great
then,
news.
Wigan.
So that's good.
that's good. Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
interesting comments.
I do think when police are heavy-handed, I don't mind saying it. There's no reason for me not to. Sheffield, whenever I've been to Sheffield, either Wednesday or United, the police are incredibly harsh with fans, with Blues fans, and it does antagonise away fans because the vast majority of them are just there and they want to stand up because they're away from home and they want to sing and they want to make noise and they want to have a beer, and the police. For me, from my experience in Sheffield in particular and other parts of the country, they are on you like a rash. And if you are going to a game like that, you know, an away game, and you just want to have a decent time, and you're being told not to and don't do this and don't do that, then it does antagonise you.
All right, okay, some comments that are coming in. This has been interesting. Blues fans always treated differently, Smithy.
I think they are, yeah.
Ray,
I
the
agree.
police were okay at Derby. We've got that
I
one.
agree with that
Yep.
as well, yeah.
Shane says Cardiff police last season was meant to be harsh.
Yeah.
Rob Knight, Queen's Park Rangers was a disgrace. I wrote to the Met Office about our treatment and got no response. I think that's worse than anything. Having just to be completely and utterly
Yeah,
ignored
yeah,
afterwards. We've
yeah.
gone and taken the time to write,
Yeah.
to an authority, who are out there to protect all, and they can't even be bothered to write back. Smithy says, right, last game of the season, instead of Peaky Blinders, seeing everybody go dressed as the old Bill.
Yeah, all criminals just go in the black and white jumpsuits. Yeah,
I love this
All
sense
the
of
arrows
humour.
on the
yeah.
Is not a sense of humour in the whole world like a Birmingham City fan is. Steph, I was so scared when I went to a home game at Villa, it scared and put me off. Plus, my fella is disabled, so scared for him too. That must be quite daunting, but won't stop me from supporting the best team in the Midlands. Well done, girl, well done. We've had the Mark Smith Wigan 1-0, and Smithy straight out of Small Heath and a famous NWA tune. No, I don't think we can do that one. No, we best not do that one. Best not do that one. Do you think you could make contact with somebody from
Sure.
like the blue security, for instance.
I mean,
and
probably best not to get blue
You do want
stewards
to cause
on.
trouble there.
right? No. Look, they're there to police a game.
Yeah.
So they're members of staff.
I think if you got someone from West Midlands Police on, someone that knows the ins and outs of a Blues home game, the policing of it every game. Do you know what I mean? Not just someone who sees us once every season.
Adrian Howes just made a very poignant point. Actually, look at the Welsh police against Villa, over the top policing from an outside force.
Yeah.
I don't see why we were drafting police in from Wales for that game.
No.
From Wales, really? Seriously?
I think it's
Don't know.
a common thing now with certain fans that have got a certain reputation to have their own police force.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, but I was stood outside the club shop and I could see Headloo written on the vans, and I'm thinking, like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think we just have spotters, don't we?
But I mean, there was half a force there from Wales, weren't there? You know?
Yeah.
Well, obviously they're
The Welsh.
better to be
It's a
safe
big
than
day
sorry.
out for them, you know what I mean?
I mean, my experience of Cardiff fans is that they've been fine and perfectly behaved, as most
can imagine.
fans.
I think I think a club like Cardiff has had its problems in the obviously we've had our problems as well, and ours has calmed down considerably from the 70s 80s. But I went to Cardiff late 90s and then 2005 2006ish back at Ninian Park, and it was it's a really nasty ground to go to. That was Ninian Park. It really was horrible. The move to the bigger stadium, the Cardiff City Stadium, maybe has calmed everything down. It's easier to police for it's easier to steward everyone, and maybe it's a little bit better in that respect, the fact that they've moved to the new ground and it's not as daunting as somewhere like Ninian Park. Maybe that's calmed everything down for Cardiff, but
It hasn't calmed West Ham fans.
Well, this is the thing I was going to say.
Exactly. Good point.
You see, that stadium was designed as an Olympic stadium rather than a football stadium.
That stadium was designed for Olympic,
Yeah.
like you say, for athletics events. No, you don't need to have cordons off, cordon fans off, and massive amount of steward and police at an athletics event. And I think the fact that nobody really knows who's in charge of stewarding and policing at that ground, West Ham are saying it's not up to us, and the police want it to be up to someone else, and I think it's got better recently, but obviously it was found out big time from the Chelsea game. So, but that was a night game as well.
I'll finish this bit off then with that the vile woman in a car with those kids over the weekend.
Millwall.
The Millwall supporter. Well,
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Absolutely disgusting,
Not nice, is it?
vile, filthy individual. What a horrible woman. What a horrible woman.
I haven't seen
Oh
it.
gosh, I've said that publicly.
Mm.
Anyway, okay, onwards we go into the last 25 minutes. Gabriel, what's your next plans then? And tell us all about your blog award.
Yeah, I was really pleased. I went to Old Trafford a couple of weeks ago to go to the FBAs, and I was, for the Football Lab, which is the blog that I write, got into the category of best new football blog. And I think I felt as though I had probably a better chance in the judges section rather than the fans' choice section, just because we didn't have the sort of the fan base to compete with some of the other ones. But I was really pleased to get the judges' choice, and hopefully that it can sort of move forward in the next year or so.
I don't know what he's doing.
No, man.
He just keeps fiddling with bits and pieces all the way
Making
through
sure
the show.
everything's going.
So
So was that
what's
for
next
best
for you?
newcomer? Sorry, best newcomer.
Best
blog.
new, yeah.
What's next for you then?
Well, hopefully more of the same. I'd like to try and monetise Football Lab if possible. Sort of reporting on kind of a lot of Football League games at the moment, and just trying to kind of push it forward. And I think I'm essentially trying to create sort of original content on sort of Football League teams, because I think if you look in the mainstream media, they tend to be more sort of elite focused.
No, that can't be possibly true. Surely
You're
not.
just pleased to see a table in there every now and then. So. Yeah, no, but I think like Gabriel said, for League 1 and 2 fans in particular, if there's a specific area where somebody's writing about your team regularly, then it's good to see, because they don't get that sort of recognition in the mainstream media. So think it's a good idea.
Steph's off now. She's going to watch Celebrity. Keep right on. Keep.
We're not that good. We're not that good then. We're good, but we're not that good.
Richard wants to know: do you have any more of the blue Keep Right On hats in stock?
I've just asked him to message.
Okay, there you go. Thanks for that one.
Lee, and he'll sort it out. I think they have got some there.
Oh, wonderful. Rob Knight says, on to more positive things. Heard rumours of Afobe and Rhodes on loan for second half of the season. If we can back up some other critical positions, mainly fullbacks, we can make the playoffs.
Get either of them, I'll back us.
Either of them?
Either of them.
Both of them?
Come in. Both of them, yeah. Well, I don't know. That's just ridiculous. Can you imagine the goals? No, but I think if you get either of them, then you're looking at a really good push. If you can get someone that will guarantee your goals.
Can't see them two coming alone, though.
Do you think wages could be an
Wages
issue?
is going to be big. I don't think. Well, Bournemouth are a Premier League too, and Middlesbrough are now, but Rhodes was at Middlesbrough, last season. They've only just gone up, but Bournemouth might have their wage structure might have increased now that they stayed in the Premier League. But I think wages will be an issue, yeah. But maybe that 10 million.
Right,
maybe
okay,
Rowett says we don't need.
Sorry, yes, put a correction. One or the other. He said sorry, not both. Yeah.
Well, maybe Rowett says we don't need to sign anyone permanently. He's happy with what he's got, and he just wants to use as much as he can to get that one striker in that will guarantee him 10 goals until the end of the season, in the second half of the season.
I mean, the point I'd make about Afobe and Rhodes is that they've both had their best spell of form when they've played alongside another striker.
Yeah.
So Rhodes scored a lot of goals alongside Rudy Gestede, and then Afobe, there was a spell when he was at Wolves when they had Dicko alongside him. So I think it would, whether either of those players could play as a lone striker, I'm not so sure if Rat wanted to go with the one up top.
Remember, Jutkovic is only on loan as well, so if we make that transfer permanent, then there's a portion of your 10 million gone.
Yes, absolutely.
If 10 million is the exact figure. But, yeah, I mean, Afobe or Rhodes, wow.
Well, Dennis would go for Rhodes.
I love Jordan Rhodes.
Yeah.
I think he's just
sublime.
But I think we mentioned Kevin Phillips last week on the show, and I think Rhodes is someone similar that he just knows exactly where to be. You can't teach that as such. It's just natural.
If you're a betting man, to give you a better insight, especially in the lower leagues. There you go.
There you go.
That's very kind. Well, I owe Sports Radio a lot as well.
You owe Ray some money now.
The money pot's over
it. Dear me. Attendance for Saturday, we're fourth. Smith is saying 21,500 4-1 to the Blues.
That's a bit
can't see
optimistic,
that.
I think.
Mark Johnson saying 19,000.
19,000 I think might not be far off.
I'm going to go for 18.5. Barnsley are only going to bring a bus full.
Yeah, I think so.
Can't see them. Bringing like 2,000-3,000 down.
No,
I not see it.
I can't see it, but you never know. But I don't think they bring that many normally. But yeah, I mean, I think what was Bristol City 18.5.
18.5. Yeah.
So you might not be far off that. I don't think.
Yeah.
The fact that we're still doing well, and this is what we said before. If you're fourth, you'll get nearly 20,000. If you're fourth come March, then you'll be getting 23,000. And if you're fourth in the and if you're in the playoffs, you'll sell out. So that's the reality of it.
Remember last season when we had Middlesbrough down here and they had a massive attendance, didn't they?
They did, yeah. But they brought about 4,000, didn't they?
Yeah.
They've
They
got
brought
quite a
loads,
good
yeah.
away from
Update on the Wigan game, 1-0 half time. Thanks, Steph, for that one. Mr. Brown, it's Black Friday all week, a bit like the DFS sale. I'm sure we had that conversation earlier. Yes, Steph, sorry, the hats are only available at Keep Right On Clothing, so message Lee, and I'm sure he'd be only too pleased to oblige. Absolutely.
Nice big discount as well.
Absolutely.
As a message regarding Sutton, how Sutton is coming into his own this season, says Wayne.
Yeah. Well, like we said it at the start of the season, him and Morrison together. But I think he's got a lot of confidence from Rowett saying, you're my first choice centre half partnership, and Sutton's had a lot of his career where he's been playing at right back because they're not sure where he plays and is he in the first team squad or not. He's an integral member of our side now.
And another one we must mention is Kujak in goal.
He had
an absolute goal.
He had made another really good sign.
I thought in the second half against Bristol City, he was one of the main reasons we won that game as well. So I don't think we should forget the importance that he's had.
What were you going to say about Sutton?
Well, just that he had a shocker when he played it right back at Nottingham Forest. A few weeks ago. And
I think that made Rowett mind up with playing Cogley at right back.
Yeah, he's a natural.
You don't want to break up that centre half partnership that's played so well this season. If you're saying, do I move Sutton to right back and put Robinson in, or do I keep my centre half partnership and just fill in at right back? I think that's a much better option.
Better option. Leonard from Queensland just realised, Mr. Hobro, that is you who is leading the Blues views
Super Six. Yeah, he is. Yeah,
well done. I'm in third position, determined to catch you by the end of the season. Good luck with that.
Good luck with catching Rays.
Yeah, he gets all his
I don't know,
tips
does
off
it?
of Christina, don't I think?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think so. They have a conclave.
Ray reckons the Blues will grind out a 1-0. Smithy says 1,500 to 1,800 from Barnsley. I don't know.
Possibly.
Dennis reckons 3-0, 20,000.
Optimistic on both counts.
Optimistic. And Steph says, I just want to know if you pick up from Stone near Stafford for December away game. No, but if you can get yourself to Uttoxeter, Steph, then we can arrange the for the Tilton Talk Derby game. Yeah. If you can get yourself to Uttoxeter, it's only up the road from there because I live there. So you get yourself to Uttoxeter on that day, and then you can be picked up from there. You can even order a bacon, egg and beans sandwich or the likes, and they'll all be sat there waiting ready for you.
Free bar.
Get there. Free bar on the bus.
No, at the
free
pub.
Bar on the bus. You'll give Joyce chronics, mate. Don't do that to her. Bless her. Smithy said it before that Shots and Moz are the best pairing since Dan and Johnson. Absolutely couldn't agree more.
In the blue side, yeah.
And Wayne says the partnership is spot on, and it absolutely is. And I don't think, like you say, you should don't fix what's not broken. If you know.
No, absolutely, yeah. I think keep that, yeah. And you said Kujak, that triangle. That it's important to have that confidence with your keeper and your two centre halves. I think there is a connection there, and they've got a lot of confidence between them. So.
Smithy also says we've got a great spine currently. He's lying there.
You ain't got a good spine.
No. I bent over to pick my bag up yesterday and stayed on the floor. Believe me, for a long time.
Yeah, I think Rabbit's spine's better than yours at the moment.
I am genuinely in complete and utter agony tonight. To be perfectly honest with you.
Well, I mean, I think he's got a good point because if you're looking at where we say we could make changes, or where are we looking to strengthen in the summer? You're looking at your full-backs, and then you're looking at players who could come in, and you say, could Stewart come in or Fabrini come in? And you're probably saying those on the wings. So you look at your keeper, your two centre halves, your midfield. You could pick any of them, couldn't you?
Go back to Saturday's game. Has Cogley just cemented himself a place?
Well, he has for the next two games because Spector's that's suspended still. Yeah, I don't think you could displace Cogley now.
You know what I mean? And if he gives top quality performances over
the
next two games, then
it gives him a headache, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But that's good because then you say maybe you don't need to strengthen the right back position if Cogley's come in and played well. That you've got competition between Spector and Cogley, and when Caddis comes back fit, you can play Caddis there if you need to.
Is Caddis going to?
Well, he's injured at the moment, so you look at how fit he is. When he comes back from his injury, but then you're looking at.
Well, I'd just be happy with Spector and Cogley myself.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose you could play Caddis left back. It's not ideal, but you could put him there. For his experience alone of playing full back. Obviously, he's not left-footed, which isn't ideal, but his experience of playing full-back could help. So then you're looking at saying cover for left-back and a striker. That's probably it then, isn't it, for January?
And still a lot going for the why not Stewart a run as well.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we said last week he's the one player at the moment that seems to be getting player with Adams as well. He seems to be getting the fans off the edge of the seat when he comes on. He's giving a lot of exciting performance. He got a trick in him or two. So I think he is. Might become a fan's favourite. And when he is fully up to match fitness for Championship football week in week out, I'm sure he will get a lot more game time.
Going on to music at the Blues for the Barnsley game. Thanks, Adrian. Happy Abode is the brilliant voice of Anthony Price with a bit of rock and roll. And in the changing room bar is one of Brum's best cover bands, Dry Rain. Live from 1:30 through till kick-off. So
can I just say, Anthony Price, he's a superstar.
Is he?
Definitely.
Which sounds like the Happy Abode, yeah.
Rob Knight's asking, what do we make of Cottrell being such a favourite? Surely the out-and-out wide left option, Magoma Stewart, is better if you're playing David RM.
That's a tough one. I think was Davis right midfield against Brentford, because I know he's been playing left midfield.
I think he was right. Yeah.
And Cottrell was right midfield. That was certainly the case against Bristol City. Stewart would play left midfield. I think he's a better left-sided player, obviously with his left foot. If he's on the right, then he could come in on his left. But I think you'd rather him start on the left wing. I think he likes the fact that even though Davis is on the left, he is a central midfielder as such. So you have still got that solidity out of possession. You could go into a midfield three and bring Donaldson out wide to the left, and you're a bit more solid that way.
Well, when I saw us against Rotherham about a month ago, I seem to remember that Cottrell sort of had a bit of an iffy first half on the left, and then he moved on to the right in the second half, and he was constantly putting in balls, and he was excellent. And I think because he's very right-footed, it means that he can get across in first time, whereas if you put him on the left, he's got to cut in onto his right foot, and then that gives defenders more time to get ready for the cross. So,
and of course, when he come on against Villa as well, he come on the right and immediately got behind Amavi on the right hand side for our goal. So
I'm very left-footed. I couldn't kick a ball with my right foot at all.
No, both left-footed.
Two left-footed.
Yeah. Smithy says Cogley's a great young prospect. Another Kevin Ashley in the making.
Who's Kevin Ashley? I've not heard of him.
Kev Ashley? No,
it's all right.
Perhaps
Gary
Smithy,
Pendry, is he Gary Pendry?
Smithy can fill us in. And Bick says, Ray, I think Viv Solomon will go out on loan.
Yeah, I think there was a story, wasn't there, about players possibly going out on loan, the younger players. I wouldn't be adverse to that. I think you look at Fabrini and Stewart and people like that, and Adams, who can play in the position that Solomon Artball would play. So, yeah, I think if he went out on loan to League One or a lower half Championship team, that it would do his development good. Yeah.
I mean, I think Viv's got pace, but I don't think he's good enough on the ball for our first team.
Not at the moment, not to displace the players we've got. I think, definitely.
Okay, Jordan Hunt, how long is Gleeson out for? Does anybody know? No, I don't.
Hopefully not long. I don't think it is long. Because I think Rowett was looking at him for the Brentford game and decided against it, but hopefully it isn't long, because he's an important part of that midfield.
Do you rate Gleeson either of you? I don't see what he offers myself.
I think he offers more of an attacking aspect. I think he's got a goal in him more than like Keefton Beld or probably Davis. I know Davis has scored a couple, but I would say he's got more of an attacking instinct than those two. So if it's Keefton Beld and one other in the middle, I think him and Gleeson complement each other well. But then you've got Tesha as well.
Smithy says, very, very poor, Chris and Gabriel. Well, me as well, because I didn't know who he was, Kevin Ashley. Call yourself Blue Knights and you don't know the best right back to come through the ranks of the club and sold to Wolves for £500,000 back in 1991.
91, no.
You were still in your nappies, were you?
I was, yeah. But then again, I know Francis, and I didn't.
And Smithy also says, remember when we first went up in the Premier under Bruce? We were struggling at Christmas, then Clements up some Clapham to Gary game in, never looked back. Then so if Gary Rowe is smart enough, brings in 3 or 4 solid players, not necessarily superstars, an automatic promotion, not a dream for me, but it's destined to be. Blues Villa playoff final, which goes to pens,
could you
and
imagine?
Cogley scores the winner.
Oh yeah.
Lovely.
Oh my word.
The things dreams are made of.
Oh my
eh?
goodness, that's a novel right there. mate.
Ray remembers Kevin Ashley, either that or he's just pretending.
Yeah.
And Adrian says hopefully Gleeson out for a while. No, I don't know. I thought Gleeson was all right. I thought
think that's
Gleeson was
harsh,
all right.
yeah.
And Jordan, why is Diego not getting a game in the first team?
I don't know. Probably the fact that he started. I think he started the Wolves game, didn't he? And that was probably the worst performance of the season. I don't know whether the fact that Fabrini tries different things. He tries a flick and a trick or two. A little bit lightweight, possibly. And maybe that puts the fans' backs up a little bit if we're not working as hard. Maybe he doesn't seem as a hard enough worker than the options he's got in those positions. But
Well, in recent games, I think Rowett tends to prefer a 4-4-2,
Yeah.
and I don't think you can fit.
I don't know
Fabrini
where he
into a
fits in
four-man
that.
midfield,
Yeah. Unless he's going up front, but you can't displace Donaldson and Jutkovic at the moment.
No.
We mentioned about Donaldson, and is he on the wane? He's not performing as well. He was involved in the in the two goals. He won the penalty and tucked it away, and then he got an important flick on for the second goal as well. So even though he's not playing as well, he's still contributing, valuably for the club.
God, welcome, your brother. Thanks, Lee, for listening in or viewing, whichever you're doing right now. There you go. I think he's down in Bournemouth, Brighton way, somewhere like that. Lives
Down
there.
south.
Yeah, down south somewhere, mate. You know what I mean? So many comments coming in tonight. It's been very difficult.
Big says I do rate Diego. Gives us another option.
Yeah, I think he's the one sort of player that you can't say anybody's like him. He is a unique player in our squad that we haven't got anybody really like him. You look at the wide players, Cottrell and Magoma and Stewart. You could say they're all wide players and quite similar. The central midfielders are quite similar. Your two strikers are big strikers, but then you've got someone like Fabrini who is that bit of magic and a bit different. And you look at how Terrell played last season. He was like that as well. He had that bit of magic to unlock defences and stuff. He was a standout. Maybe Fabrini is that same.
Rob Knight says Diego, good player, but soft, goes down too easily and doesn't fit into the system.
I think the fact that was signified against Wolves as well, in a game like Wolves at home, where Fabrini maybe is a bit lightweight and he was going down and not winning free kicks, and I think the fans were getting a bit frustrated about that. But since then we've only lost 2 games, so really, how can you shoehorn him in when we're playing well?
Mm-hmm. Mark Hopkins says, I trust Rowett seems to know what he's doing with these players. Look at Norwich, Huddersfield, they're dropping points. At least we're consistent. Good point.
Norwich are in 3-4. They're in a really bad run at the moment.
Huddersfield shot off, didn't they, at the beginning of this season?
Yeah. Losing obviously tonight as well. So
yeah.
And Steph, who's still listening, despite the fact that I'm a celebrity getting out of ears on TV, Rowett knows what he's doing. He'll put the best players forward.
Yeah. I think you've got to trust him.
Absolutely.
He's done nothing this season to suggest that he doesn't know what he's doing. So.
Okay, this time next week, we are going to be in the midst of a megastar, a superstar.
Yeah, I'll be here again.
Yeah, I'm over here.
Next week, our very special guest on the show, and it's going to be a very proud moment for me because he was one of my dad's favourites. My dad was alive too. Will be the one and only. Have we got a drum roll, Chris?
No, we haven't.
No.
Who is it?
Good that was.
Who is it? Who's coming in? Who is it? I don't know. No. Father Christmas. No, not Docco. Please don't let Docco come in an elf's uniform.
Docco.
Yeah. We'll have to tell him to stay away.
No, it is the one and only, the big one and only Mr. Joe Gallagher in the studio live next week. Look out for that one.
It is.
It is, isn't it?
Can anybody ever say a bad word about Joe Gallagher?
Not met him yet in person, so I don't know.
I've met him a couple of times. Really nice. Nice bloke.
Ray says I'm coming in. Okay.
Not next week.
Smithy says I've not confirmed yet. Vic says Mickey Singh. Paul Smith team of 91. My brother said good to see you, bro. Nice to know that you're on the other side of there, that young man.
Can you just say he's suffering as well? You're suffering.
I am suffering. I'm genuine. I don't know.
It's
how
shown.
I
tell you what, it has shown. If anybody's watching tonight,
I don't know how I'm
I'll
going to
be
get
surprised
out
if
of
there's
this
not a
chair
candlelit vigil outside your house when you get home.
I don't know how I'm going to get out of this
something
chair.
to rub on, but I'll decline.
Yeah.
I don't know what might be in it though.
Just in case.
There's just not a lot left, is there? You know what I mean?
I use one of those. But,
And as Ray ever, not Ray, as Dennis ever
Dennis,
used
yeah.
it. If so, you can keep it. Newcastle cost me £300 losing on Saturday. Who's going to win? It's who's going to go up with them. Where do you see Blues finishing?
Was it who's going to go up with
something-
Newcastle? Was that the question?
Yeah.
two questions.
Two questions there. Who's going to?
I can't see, even though they lost, I can't see them not going up. They are too good.
So Newcastle to win the league for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Newcastle to win the league for you.
Newcastle and
For
Brighton.
yourself. Newcastle and Brighton. Okay.
Oh,
I love these moments.
I've got a funny feeling for Sheffield Wednesday still. I think they're.
Okay.
I think if they get on a roll, they're a really good. They're a really good footballing team. I think they'll be tough to stop. Just got a funny feeling for them still at the moment.
I think they'll peter out after Christmas. Unfortunately, we tend to peter out a bit, but except we don't.
We said we weren't really
There's no reason why we can't finish in the playoffs.
Right, we said we weren't really going to speak about our final position until after Christmas.
Yeah, we said after Christmas.
And I think I want to kind of stick to that.
Yeah,
because I don't want to
yeah.
tempt any fate or anything. You know, it would
Six
just be
games
so
is
wrong.
6 games is there's 18 points to play for. If we pick up one, then that changes our whole aspect on where we think we'll finish at the end of the season.
I'd also just like to point out that my brother, who's watching in, supports the wrong side of the A38.
Oh, does I?
Yeah,
Oh, thanks for watching.
Yeah, spying.
Yeah.
Sent him in as a spy. Yeah.
Never mind. Oh,
He's not very intelligent. Is he?
No.
He was the black sheep. He didn't quite fit in. You know?
He's always a runt, you know. I've got him as well, Dennis.
Dear. Adrian says Joe's a great guy. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. I'm not really looking forward to that one. Really, I'm genuinely, because, as I say, he was always somebody that my dad spoke about, Joe Gallagher. So, looking forward to that.
And he's got
one.
some stories to tell.
I'm sure. No cancelling this time. We were talking about Hardman a few minutes ago. So this Ashley must have been a bit of a hard man. He was in the Thomas, Ashley, Mathewson, Overson, Frayne, Gleghorn, Peer, Tate, Rogerson, Sturridge, Bailey, Hopkins, Downs, and Moran kind of teams. I remember all them names.
There's a few names there.
Yeah, there's quite a few names there. But I didn't remember the Kevin Ashley. It must have been.
Well, 91 was the Leyland Cup.
Leyland Cup final,
Yeah.
Steph Briscoe says Blues have always had a hard man in the team like Julian Dix, Kenny Burns, who would you say would do that job now? Don't think we've got that kind of style of team now, have we, at all?
Well, I certainly wouldn't mess with the likes of Morrison and Keefton Beld and people like that.
I'd say David Davis.
Yeah,
because
Davis,
I think he's the type of player that'll run for a tackle.
Yeah.
And really go for the ball and he likes to sort of drive forward
and if you're a centre half in the Championship, you probably don't really want to be coming up against Donaldson and Jutkovic. Two big, strong centre forwards like that. So.
Smithy says, Steph, we haven't got a hard man.
I wouldn't say hard man as such, but we're a physical side. I don't think we'll be pushed over by many teams as such. I don't think we'll be bullied by teams. So.
I've just looked at the clock.
It's 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Was it 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
2 minutes, then.
9 o'clock.
We'll go for another 2 minutes.
2 more minutes. What can we speak about?
I apologise to Steph, because obviously I'm a celebrity, I'll run over. But
and for calling her Steve.
yeah.
Get it right next time, Nick.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes, said the Dalek
We
climbing
do.
off the dustbin. Can I ask you? What? Hey, smile! I've created.
smile.
I have
Wasn't a
created a smile.
Wasn't a
Everybody's
smile.
seen that.
You were
Come
going to
on.
ask me something.
Come on. What fun things have you got planned for over Christmas this year?
Over Christmas?
Yeah.
Probably just a quiet one. Praying for
With your prosecco.
Praying for the 4th of January. get the holiday season over and done with, back to normal. It's actually my brother's wedding on
Season. You've just committed a sin. It's Christmas season.
It's alright.
Thank you.
It's alright.
And it will be known as that
the Christmas
forevermore.
It's my brother's wedding on Sunday.
So where's he getting married?
He's getting married in Redditch.
Oh right, okay. Have you got an invite?
I am bewilderingly. I'm the best man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be it's going to be a fun one, I'm sure.
Can B6 supporters be banned? We have to let him off because he can't speak much English. So
We'll let him off this one.
Yeah, we'll let him in. We'll let him in. Not a problem. And Vic says, "Do you remember Ndor saw him tackle 2 players at once?"
Yeah,
What a
well,
nut.
yeah, that was
What a
under
nut.
Houghton. Wasn't
There
it?
was one time, I think in the Europa League game, I think it was against Braga, where he hit the bar with a shot from
Yeah.
like near the halfway
Yeah,
line or
yeah.
something like that. He was
Yeah,
very physical player, wasn't he?
yes, that was.
Once again, time has beaten us. Thanks, Mr. Brown, for getting it so very right tonight. I've got a clue why he was turning.
Well, I hope so. Anyway, there hasn't been many complaints.
Let's hope next time we meet, we've got another 3 points in the bag. And, that quiet, continues. It's a bit that I can't understand. I can't understand why we're not in this one. I can't understand.
I don't want to bet.
No, I know.
Leave it.
Yeah.
I think it's because we haven't got a name as such for people to talk about and link with Man United and Chelsea. So.
Ray Aldro says Derby and Prosecco. What
It's gonna be a good one.
Gabriel, how very nice to see you again, young man. Thanks
Always.
ever so much for coming. You're welcome to come here anytime you wish. Friend of the show, Gabriel Sutton, everybody. Thanks ever so much.
Always
Chris
pleasure.
Brown with his 2 pairs of headphones on. Well done, thank you very much. Mr. Pugh, back off to Alfchurch tonight?
Yeah.
So you're going down the M42. There's a bit of an accident down there, wasn't there?
There wasn't on the way up,
Okay,
so
okay,
I think it all cleared.
Yeah. I got onto the A38 and the overhead signs there said there was half an hour delay and there wasn't. So.
No,
So,
hopefully be fine.
but do drive home very steadily. It's a very cold night out.
Okay,
there.
will do.
-3 down to tonight, ladies
Right.
and gents. -3. So
Have I got into the right programme?
I know, yeah.
get your ones.
This is the traffic segment of the Tilton Talk Show.
Yeah, I love it. Keep right on, everybody. See you all next Monday live here with Big Joe Gallagher. Looking forward to that one. Chris, thanks ever so much. Thanks for your
Pleasure.
entertainment and your fun factor. Thanks again, Gabriel, and thanks, Mr. Brown.
Cheers,
Have a
guys.
mate. Good night. Keep right on.
That-